Does anyone else, like me, long for the simple life, wishing there was some Amish button you could press to escape to some idyllic countryside where the only way anyone can reach you is by pigeon? Maybe it hits you when you're stuck in traffic after work, or when someone's watching TikTok on full volume on the train. At least once in our lifetime we go, how did I get here? And vow from this moment on to plug out of the technology matrix and go full Hobbit mode minus the hairy feet. But when you try to, say, eat without a screen in front of you, it feels as difficult as a staring contest with a robot. Or when you sit outside, you can't help but go on your phone. So, how can we actually get back into the simple groove of life we all long for without getting caught in the loop of relentless productivity and indulgence? Well, by looking at the wisdom of three simple-natured, larger-than-life characters, their perspectives will finally connect us to the simple life we all long for good. It will be like getting chickenpox, not that you'll get covered in a bumpy rash, but that one time's enough, and there's no need for a round two. So, let's cut to the chase and look at the first endearingly innocent character on the list, Chance from the film being there, with his wisdom that life is a state of mind. Aware that he's nearing the final chapter of his life, Chance stands alone by the lake. Reflecting on a life defined by quiet simplicity and gentle adventure, he arrives at a quiet realisation that life, in the end, is just a state of mind. So, what does he mean? Well, the first insight comes from the visuals. He strolls across a lake, standing on water, while his umbrella sinks deeper than his feet ever could. The depth is ambiguous, and that's a metaphor for life. Sorry, I'm about to sound like a fortune cookie, but life is what you make it, so it's up to you whether you want to live it in slow motion and appreciation, or too fast that the wheels fall off. If you decide to take it slow, everything around you gets reconfigured for the better so that you know what's important. Chance's life offers us a blueprint for the simple life we should all strive for. He's a simple, unapologetically authentic and kind man. Without spoiling it, Chance is a sheltered gardener who gets kicked out of his employer's home after their unexpected death and, like his name suggests, has to chance it, I'll see myself out, in the real world. The fact he's a gardener is no accident. Gardeners or farmers or anyone working in nature tend to have a greater connection and grasp on the simplicity of life. They don't rush their work, they see it as infinite. In fact, the writer of the book 4,000 Weeks, Oliver Burkeman, says they understand the abstract nature of time better than anyone. If you work in nature, you're not fussed with time because you have a heightened awareness of the vividness of things. With a farmer, they believe that there will always be another milking or harvest, and as a result, he has no reason to rush. And this gives the farmer peace of mind which makes him feel content with his time on Earth. Back to the film, what sets this apart from most is that the character is so endearing from beginning to end. Even the characters are flawed by his pure spirit. Usually, if the main character's personality is constant throughout, the lack of character arc means we disconnect from them. But with Chance, his unwavering security in himself, coupled with his childlike spirit, makes his innocent likability contagious. It's a fresh of breath air. Wait, strike that, reverse it. Anyway, you get the idea. Just do yourself a favour and watch this film when you can, and maybe the simple life will rub off on you. Number 2, The Hobbits.
I found it is the small things, everyday deeds of ordinary folk, that keeps the darkness at bay. Simple acts of kindness and love.
The Hobbits are at the heart of Tolkien's Middle-earth, and their spirits are larger than their appearance suggests. Despite being little fellows in a wide world, the Hobbits prove their strength and loyalty over and over again. As you saw in the clip, the wizard Gandalf in particular is the most vocal champion of their spirit, also saying, "Hobbits really are amazing creatures. You can learn all that there is to know about their ways in a month, and yet, after 100 years, they can still surprise you at a pinch." He's constantly surprised by the Hobbit's character, always exuding qualities of purity, kindness, perseverance, and an optimistic attitude during tumultuous moments. Despite Gandalf's overpowered abilities, he sees their spirit as greater than his own. To him, it's the key to success of his quests, and so he gives them the most important task. I mean, Frodo even offers the ring to Gandalf, who momentarily salivates over its power like I do looking at my pizza cooking through the oven door. Tolkien's message is that it's not the most powerful who should be entrusted, but rather the individual with the purest of heart. However, with this life comes with it the caveat that it can be too simple and ordinary. The big dog of the Hobbits, Bilbo Baggins, proudly admits that Hobbits are plain, quiet folk and have no use for adventures. They'd much rather spend time frolicking about with their friends and family over searching for an adventure. In our busy world, this has a stigma attached to it and can be seen as displaying a lack of ambition. I mean, sloth is laziness, and that's one of the deadly sins. But with Tolkien making them the main characters, he knows there's beauty beyond the perceived stigma in living a simple, quiet life, provided you hold other virtues alongside it, like gratitude and generosity. If anything, the simple life makes holding virtues easier, as with the clutter of life sidelined, you have more peace of mind and clarity. The Hobbits prove this, that in simplicity, virtue follows virtue. With their gratitude for what they already have, the hobbits want to make it their duty to be generous to their community. If we all walked in their shoes, actually wait, they walk barefoot, that doesn't work. If we all followed their example then, the world would be better for it. Next up is David Lynch's The Straight Story, which follows a 73-year-old who learns that his estranged brother's terminally ill and goes on his lawnmower all the way from Iowa to Zion National Park in Washington. What adds an extra layer of tragic urgency to this story is in the real-life context that the actor who played Alvin, Richard Farnsworth, was terminally ill with bone cancer whilst filming. Clearly getting that fact from IMDb to sound more knowledgeable, let's just get to the simple beauty of the character. I think it's found in his choice to travel on a lawnmower to see him. He could just hop on a plane and get to him sooner, but that wouldn't have healed the wound between the brothers. When he actually gets there, his brother Lyle goes,
"Did you ride that thing all the way out here to see me?"
And Alvin replies,
"I did, Lyle."
Just in that exchange, all tensions are diffused, and any sour wounds instantly healed, quicker than what getting there sooner would have done. I think in that you can see the beauty of the simple life. Rushing isn't nearly as effective or meaningful than slowly following the right path. So what have we learnt from these three characters? That slowing down brings everything into perspective and makes you value the right things. It also takes you outside of your own interests so that you can not only appreciate the abundance around you, but help you be more generous to your community. With this in mind and conscious I'm talking too much, I'll end the video with a quote by Alvin.
When my kids were real little, I used to play a game with them. I'd give each one of them a stick, and I'd say, "You break that." Of course, they could, real easy. Then I'd say, "Tie them sticks in a bundle, and try to break that." Of course, they couldn't. Then I'd say, "That bundle, that's family."
Thanks for watching, and if you want more where this came from, check out my overthinking playlist to quiet the noisy mind. See you next time.